Well, my name's Craig Samborski. I started out in the entertainment business when I was like 14 years old. I started working at my local arena as a door guard and worked in various positions doing stagehand, ice maintenance, event maintenance, security, and worked my way up to director of entertainment. So the last 10 years I was at that facility, I booked entertainment. We had an 8,000 seat arena, 2,300 seat performing arts center, and a 12,000 seat amphitheater. So I booked bands like Aerosmith, Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, John Prine. And I think it was about 2009. I was approached to do festivals with tall ships. So like those ships that you see in the movie The Pirates of the Caribbean. I happened to be producing Tall Ships Los Angeles at the Port of LA. And one of my colleagues with the city of LA, he and I were out having beers one night. And he said, you know, Craig, you're a nice event producer from Minnesota, but you're in LA and you need to go big or go home. And I'm kind of like, well, what does that mean? He's like, you need to build the world's largest rubber duck. And there had been a couple iterations of ducks before. I think a couple in Hong Kong, maybe not quite as tall as this duck. And I had had enough beers that I was in a pretty creative mood that night. And I said, man, that's a great idea. And I woke up the next morning scratching my head going, okay, how am I going to pull this off? And so I spent some time finding people to build the various components and did that. And like 9 weeks later, the duck was delivered to the Port of LA and it made its debut there. So there's a couple of pieces to it. There's the really large inflatable, and then there's a 30,000 pound steel pontoon when we put it on water. We're getting further and further away from putting it on water. There's a couple of reasons for it. Primarily, people, when they come to see the duck, they're like, wow, it's really cool on water. Now put it on land so we can take pictures, selfies with my family. And that production of moving it from water to land is not easy, and putting it on water is an incredibly expensive thing. Like it would be cost prohibitive to be doing like 90% of the events we're doing this summer. The duck just wouldn't go there. I mean, putting it on water is, depending what part of the country you're in, is like a $50, $60, $70,000 price tag. You got to have tugboats. You have to have a tugboat. You have to have crane. You have to build basically all the infrastructure you can get on land. So the electricity for the blowers, tying it down, all that stuff's got to be put on water. And then when you're on water, if it gets really breezy, the pontoon that's on starts bouncing around. And so it's a lot more susceptible to the weather when it's on water. I've been at a lot of events where unfortunately, it's gotten too windy and we've had to deflate it, and it's very upsetting to the crowd. It can handle weather a lot better. And it also allows for people to get really up close and take pictures with it. And yeah, well, ducks live on land too. Yeah, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said to me, okay, move it from water to land now so we can take a picture of it. Just a little over 6 feet, 6 stories high, 61 feet high, 64 feet wide, 74 feet long. And the ballast that holds it on ground, it kind of varies between 16,000 and 24,000 pounds, the weighting we use to hold it down.
Wow. So yeah, I guess hearing that, people can understand that this is not.
Yeah, right. And I've been around it like when it's windy. Okay, so you know, here's a kind of a good example of why land is better. When you look at like a sailboat, how much sail area there is for a sailboat to make it cruise across the water really fast. Imagine the duck has got the sail area of like 30 or 40 sailboats. So wind really does impact it in a very big way. And it's super sad when we're out on the water. I remember back in 2017, you know, we had a crowd of like 10,000 people standing around waiting for the duck to go up, and we started inflating it on the water, and the wind was way too rough for it. We had to deflate it, and we deflated a lot of people's emotions at the same time.
So where are some of the coolest places that you've taken this duck?
Well, debuting it in Los Angeles was cool. There was a lot of people. Like they closed the Pacific Coast Highway because there was so much traffic on it. There was just a mass of humanity there. So that was cool for the debut, and we got a lot of international media like CNN International, Time Magazine, NBC, Fox, CBS, New York Times. That was really cool. Toronto we're going back there in September for the first time since 2017. But Toronto in 17, like when I say there was just about 1 million people there to see it, I'm totally not joking. It's cool, you know. I mean, I kind of had a like I don't know if I'd say an epiphany, but like maybe a little paradigm shift when I was in the entertainment business doing concerts. It's cool to be around entertainers, celebrities, and I kind of evolved not away from that, but my focus really came, what is it you're doing at these festivals? What is it about the audience? What are they there for? They're there for, they want to get entertained and they want to forget about their everyday problems, their mortgage payment. Maybe they don't have a job. Maybe they've got the stress of bills. Maybe they got some other stresses in life. When they come to see the Duck, there's just this kind of pure joy that happens, and that's like the biggest payoff for me. So I definitely love getting all the media attention. That's great for the Duck. But what really tips the scale for me is when I see families there, I see kids there, I see people that come alone. I get hundreds of emails about what the Duck means to people, and it's really gratifying to see them kind of getting out of it what I get out of it. I mean, it's really hard to look at the Duck and not be happy and just experience some joy, even if it's for a few minutes. It's a reminder of simpler times when we're kids, when we didn't have the stress of adults of, car payments and work and family and all the things that go along with that.
So how excited are you to come to Leonardtown and visit the small town?
I love it. I mean, I love my background in the touring concert and festival business gave me a chance to travel a lot, and it's super fun to go to places like Chicago and New York and LA, but I love small town America. I live in a small town in northern Minnesota on the western end of Lake Superior. It's a whole different culture. I drove down to Leonardtown yesterday just to scope things out, and what an incredibly beautiful city. In fact, our whole drive so far through Maryland has been breathtaking. I mean, I'm kicking myself for not getting here sooner. So we're gonna go at the wharf in Leonardtown, which is on Washington Street, right down by the water. And Lachelle from Leonardtown, who brought us here, has put together a really cool festival. She has entertainment going all day long. She's got food trucks. She's got vendors. She's really done a great job. So I'm excited to see all of that. I'm excited to see all the people that come out and see it and get a chance to talk to people. It just immediately people walk up and start taking selfies with it, and they are so happy. And just seeing that reaction, it's kind of like a lot of YouTube videos right now are designed for whoever's the host of the show on YouTube to see their reaction to certain things. So I get a huge kick out of seeing kids react to it and families. And the Duck, what's unique about the Duck is it draws in literally every demographic there is: little kids, teenagers, young adults, seniors. That to me is really cool, that there is this thing, a rubber duck that really transcends every demographic there is: age, socioeconomic class, political class, all of that stuff. It just steps above all that. I didn't invent the rubber duck, but I'm happy that it exists, because it really does have that amazing draw.